Hello and welcome today, guys. So today I'm gonna do something a little different and talk about soft skills. Now, in research and looking around, there is a top 10 list of soft skills that employers generally look for college students and for new people applying. Eastern Kentucky University gave a listing of communication, courtesy, flexibility, integrity, interpersonal skills, positive attitude, professionalism, responsibility, teamwork, and work ethic. Today, what I'm going to go over is communication. So, when with communication, there's several types. There's oral speaking, written, presenting, listening, clear speech, and writing. So you can kind of combine a few of those together with writing and written, and then presenting with oral speaking capability. Listening is kind of on its own. However, they all play an integral role in your soft skills. And the reason for that is if you are attempting to speak to somebody as if you're talking to one of your friends, and I don't know about you, but me personally, I have a different way of speaking to friends versus in a professional atmosphere. And that's just how I grew up and things like that. So it's a switch that I generally can flip relatively easily. Now, don't be mistaken. We all make mistakes. You know, we may say the wrong thing or use acronyms or terminology that we would use in one setting in another, and people get lost and don't really understand the point that you're trying to make. As well as if you're using things like swear words or just general verbiage that you would use with your friends in a professional setting, say to your boss or your boss's boss. That's not something you really want to do. So the ability to speak orally is huge. Okay, there's a few ways that you can go about improving your speaking ability and your presentation skills. One of which is what I'm doing now, which is providing you this video. So YouTube videos or just videos in general of speaking on a topic are one way that you can really prepare yourself to speak. And the reason for that is we have the ability now to not only speak, but also have somebody critique us. So if you put something on YouTube or if you put something on any other streaming site, you can actually be critiqued via comments or what people believe. The advantage of it is you're not in front of a crowd of people. Now, that can be good or bad. I grew up in such a way that throughout school, whether it be elementary, middle, high school, I was always in front of people and had to do a lot of presentations. So for me, speaking in front of others, it doesn't scare me. But that's not to say I don't get nervous, because I do fear that I'm going to make a mistake, that I'm not going to say the right thing, or that I'll forget what I'm going to say. So how you handle yourself in those situations is huge. For instance, keeping your hands in your pockets isn't necessarily the best thing to do. However, being able to be behind a podium may work out for you. So if you're able to be behind a podium, that works even better. But then that's not really interactive, is it? Right? So you may ask for questions or this or the other, but you may end up sitting there just reading everything you're going to say. And that's one of the things that people have critiqued me on, is not so much that I'm reading, but more so that I'm have a lot of pauses, that I say a lot and things of that nature. And even myself, I catch myself doing it. So there are things we can do to get better at it, but honestly, the only thing you can do is just do it. So if you can speak in front of somebody, if you do any conferences or go to any conferences, try to be a presenter. The only thing you can do to make yourself better is to, well, do it. To get over that fear. Fear is going to hinder you in so many ways, but it can also give you strength to understand that it is something that can drive you. All right. And going on from oral speaking and things of that nature, let's touch on written. So when we write text messages, when we talk to our friends or write an email, a lot of times we may use shortened verbs or shortened words. So instead of writing out YOU, you might type the letter U. Instead of using there in the proper way. And that's another thing, right? Understanding there, or are and our. When do you do these certain things? So understanding how to correctly write is another big thing. If you don't understand, or if you're not really fluent or capable, and we all know our limits. So if you're not really capable of writing a professional email, one of the things you can do is download a program called Grammarly. And there's other programs out there. That's just one of the big ones that people tell me about all the time. And Grammarly helps with that aspect of, if you're going to type something up, run it through Grammarly, and we'll tell you if you're right or wrong. And it's not perfect, but it's definitely better than nothing. And if you really want to get good, then just start writing blog posts, right? The more you write, the better you get. It's kind of like reading. The more you read, the faster you learn these words, the faster you learn to read, and the easier it becomes to comprehend things. So everything comes in stages. You're going to learn to crawl before you can walk, and learn to walk before you can run. So if you're going to try to better yourself in these soft skills, especially communication, the only thing you truly can do is to do it, right? So if you're going to want to better your writing skills, do reports, do white papers, do research, do blog posts. There are so many ways that you can write more and more and more and better yourself. And make sure you write it in a professional manner. You're no longer texting or writing a Facebook message to your friends, okay? You're trying to do this in a professional environment. So the words you use, the things you say matter, all right? That's one of the biggest things I can get across to you when it comes to writing, is you're no longer texting somebody. And even if you're texting your boss or texting a coworker, keep in mind, they're not always your friends. They're your coworkers, they're your boss. So you don't want to use the same writing style that you write to your friends, the people that you grew up with, your family, things of that nature. And also remember, if you wouldn't say it to your parents or your mom or your dad, why would you say it to your boss? If it's not something you would say or want heard by your grandparents, why would you say it to your boss? Be very professional in the way you speak. And that gets to the last point of communication, which is listening. So a lot of us have an issue with listening. I myself have had issues in the past. And so when we get told that we are bad at something, or if somebody is talking to us, we tend to block it out like they're not important. Understand, just saying yeah is not something you really want to say, especially in a professional environment. It's yes and enunciate. But other than that, are you truly listening and grasping what they're saying? Okay, you don't want to listen and let it go in one ear and out the other. You want to be able to respond and be part of a conversation if your input is required. So you're not listening just to hear. You're listening to comprehend and respond. So don't block them out. Don't block out anything. And one of the big things and one of the big reasons for that is you need to be able to learn from everybody. I know I'm not perfect. I know that I have a lot to learn. So I try to take everybody's critiques, everybody's wisdom, and apply it in my daily life and apply it in these videos that I show you. So when I listen to learn, and I listen to understand. And if you're not doing that, if you're not listening with an open mind, then what are you even there for? Why are you even letting this person speak? So understand that you should you should learn to listen and listen good and listen hard. Keep eye contact and actually try to value what that other person says. And that's huge. Okay. If you're not listening, then you're going to miss something, and you're going to miss something that's vital and important, and that's not what you want to do. So again, to close out, communication's key, and in all facets of our life, whether it is oral speaking and the ability to talk to others, give presentations, or anything like that. And when you do that, have a clear speech. All right, you don't want to mumble. You don't want to get mixed up on words. You don't want to say the wrong word. All right. Again, I know I do it on occasion, and I try to fix myself, but that's why I do these videos, to better myself and to bring knowledge to others. Presenting, and then written. All right, so learn to write, use Grammarly, write a blog, write white papers, write reports, whatever the case may be. All those things can help you develop into a better, well-rounded person that knows how to communicate. And finally, listen. If you're not listening, then you're not there, and you should always be present. Other than that, that's communication in a nutshell. I hope you understand what you can do to better yourself, and I hope you do. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Please hit subscribe, and please leave your comments or get a hold of me in any of the ways that I have listed in the description. Have a good one.